I think definitions of reconciliation tend to vary a bit, but my own working definition when I'm engaged in something is the transformation of violent or destructive conflict into non-violent and creative disagreement. You don't try and resolve conflict, you try and reconcile those involved in conflict.
What is this strange word, reconciliation? Reconciliation, of course, is about healing broken relationships. It's about taking the risk of doing precisely what Jesus did and asked his disciples to do, is to love their enemies. Probably the hardest of all the Christian commandments, if we call it that.
I tend to present my understanding of reconciliation by saying what it isn't rather than what it is. So reconciliation isn't about resolving conflict, it's about transforming it. It isn't about eradicating differences, it's about learning to live and inhabit the differences in a more constructive relational way. And I think reconciliation is very contingent, it's very elusive, and it's very much a long-term project. And it's something that is very rare. I think when I hear people claiming that reconciliation has happened, I'm always quite sceptical because we never quite fully get there this side of the Parousia. And that's why, at one level, my favourite definition of reconciliation is the one that Stanley Hauerwas gives, which is that reconciliation is when our enemy tells us our story in such a way that we're able to say, yes, that is my story. And it's that point of mutual understanding, the complete inhabiting of the experience of the other at which you're at enmity with.
It's about the hope that we can live as the people God wants us to be, people who are reconciled with each other and reconciled with Him. I talked on the radio, the local radio here, Radio Coventry in Warwickshire, when I first started this post about a year ago. And they asked me what I thought about reconciliation there too. I found myself saying on the radio that reconciliation is a bit like the Coventry Ring Road. You have to know when to intervene. You have to know how to do it, how to drive onto the ring road and how to drive off again. You have to know what you're doing. And then it's a journey, and you travel alongside people and bring people together to travel alongside each other.
I am utterly passionate about reconciliation. If you talk to my colleagues on the staff here at Lambeth, they will say that when we get into reconciliation things, I become a slightly different character. It's something that is absolutely shaping almost everything I think of. It's the desire of my heart to find ways in which we can transform destructive, violent conflict into peaceful disagreement and diversity, possibly with passion, passionate disagreement, but not destructive disagreement. So I carry that. I carry with me in my mind the image of Christ in glory behind the high altar at Coventry. And in my heart, there is that memory of sitting in my stall at evensong on the days before I travelled to somewhere dangerous and difficult, feeling sick and frightened, and looking at the man standing between the feet of Jesus, overshadowed, unable to see the Christ who protected him. I carry that with me so often. And I carry with me those extraordinary words in the great bronze letters at the back of the cathedral at the West End on the floor. On 14th November 1940, this cathedral burned to the glory of God. And that sense of what human beings can destroy, God raises up. And also, I go on forever, but the Great West Screen with the insanely dancing, bopping angels going completely crazy, and that sense of the figure of Christ at one end and the bopping angels at the other, and next to them the sun bursting through the baptistry window. The darkness of the Chapel of Unity, so often reflecting the darkness and chaos of our disunity in the church, and the call to the world in the Chapel of Industry. The peace of the Chapel of the Stalingrad Madonna, my favourite place to sit and pray silently in the cathedral. And that sense of a place that knows what it's for, and provided it holds that sense, will always find itself in the centre of God's will.